I think I started out with a Google search. I did find some, online Facebook groups. Um, they were not for me, you know. They were not for me. The conversations that were being had, it wasn't what I was looking for at the time. And I remained in the group, but I wasn't active. And then when I circled back as Elijah got older, um, it still just wasn't for me. I found that even trying to respond to questions, um, there was this sense, it felt like anyways, this sense of competition. Um, you know, I responded to a question that someone asked, and they wanted to, follow up privately, and they were asking about purees. And I'm thinking, oh, well, we puree Elijah's food. Maybe I can be helpful. And they just completely disregarded me after they learned Elijah's foods were pureed for oral feeds. And they were looking for purees for a G-tube. And that was never clear in their question. I was just trying to be helpful, completely disregarded me. After they learned that Elijah was orally fed. It was just, I don't know, it was just this, it felt like I was putting up a lot of effort to be supported by a group that needed support. And so it just, yeah, so I'm not active at all in it. We found support from each other. And when we chose to start talking about it, we found support just from our church family, from our family, and our closest of friends. Um, because we talked to the schools, we wanted all hands on deck, so counselors at the school were very supportive because we wanted them to be on top of if the kids were, acting out at all. So we found support from them. That was our support. I think it's sad to have a community where you don't feel supported, but I think it's great to have support from other sources, because I think it's human nature to have a diagnosis and want to find people with that same diagnosis. I think that makes total sense. But I think if you're not finding what you need in those communities, I think it's important to keep looking and find it somewhere else. It could very well be right there in your house. It could very well be, another family. Because that mom who had the same experience as me with a totally different disease group, she and I have connected to where, we'll text from time to time to kind of check in on each other. And so I think that's something that specific disease groups and organizations and communities can consider. Are families feeling supported when they reach out to you, or is it just an opportunity to say, we have a community, we have a group, because it wasn't just me. It's happening.
I think it's important to find or to define support for yourself and not allow somebody else to dictate what support looks like to you.
For you, right?
Or for you, yes. So like, this is a Trisomy 18 group, so I'm supposed to be in this Trisomy 18 group, for example. But I don't feel like the other people in the Trisomy 18 group are supporting me. I feel like because my situation doesn't look like your situation, you're judging me. Like, for example, we've had your kid didn't have the kind of Trisomy 18 that my kid has. Like, well, there's only well, there's
My-
three different types,
Right.
obviously, but
My kid had the
the severe kind.
My kid had the severe kind, the kind
Like,
that,
what is that?
and like they're all
You
severe.
either have full trisomy 18 or you have partial mosaic, right? And so in this case, both had full trisomy 18, but because my kid
Responds
looks
differently.
different than your kid, oh well, my kid, yeah, you can't relate to me because my kid had the
Had the
bad
bad
kind, right?
Right.
Not the he had the bad full trisomy 18. You got the good kind.
And I
Like
think,
that.
but I think that's just like we talk to physicians and practitioners, and we talk to healthcare spaces, but it's also room to talk to communities, because I think people think they're providing a service, and that could very well be the goal. But when you have a community of personalities, um, there's going to be some clash, and if nobody's monitoring the conversations that are being had, it's easy for families to walk in and feel like, yeah, this is not the space for me, because that's how I felt.